most important aspect of the first 30 days is figuring out what is holding you back. What is holding back your energy, your drive, your physique, your libido, your mood, and fixing those things and getting rid of those things. That is what an audit is all about. All an audit is getting rid of stuff that is not serving you. Okay? What I want you to do right now along with me is write down all of the things that is holding your energy, your physique, and your testosterone back, and then make sure you take action on it right after this video. So write down everything that is holding you back, and I'm gonna give you a list of all the things in the modern day that is holding young guys back from achieving their testosterone, their energy, their physique goals. And this is what I want you to do along with me right now. Get out a piece of paper right now and take action. If you're not gonna take action, nothing is gonna change. So this is the first step for you in order to change something, is to do an audit and figure out what is holding you back. Okay, so the most common things that is holding your testosterone, your energy, and your physique back is going to be alcohol. Number one is alcohol, right? And the reason why I'm writing down alcohol is because alcohol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. So testosterone and alcohol are gonna have an inverse relationship, meaning that testosterone and alcohol have an inverse relationship, meaning the more testosterone and alcohol have an inverse relationship, meaning the more alcohol you drink, the lower your testosterone is gonna be. So the more alcohol you have, the lower your testosterone is gonna be. And that is one of the very first things you need to audit out of your life. And odds are, if you are drinking alcohol, what that leads to is late nights, inconsistent sleep, and overall just a worse quality of life, because you are literally poisoning yourself. There are so many studies out there on the harmful effects of alcohol, and it's literally the worst thing you can do. I would rather you do shrooms, do Molly, take different type of drugs than to do alcohol, because alcohol is going to hurt yourself as a man so much more than any of those things. Now, I'm not condoning you to go out and do a bunch of drugs. Those are also going to increase your estrogen levels, which is going to lower your testosterone. But what I am encouraging you to do is to get rid of the alcohol. This is the number one most important thing, because the more alcohol you drink, the worse your testosterone is going to be. And that was the thing that I needed to cut out of my life. And now I am 9 months sober. Okay, so I want you guys to get rid of the alcohol. That is the very first thing. Get it out of your environment, get it out of your apartment, wherever you're living. If it's by you, you gotta get rid of it. You gotta stop showing up to the bar. You gotta get rid of all the alcohol in your house, because out of sight, out of mind. If you don't go to those places, if you don't go to those environments, it's gonna be so much easier to quit. How are you gonna quit a pack of cigarettes if you are having cigarettes by you every single day? How are you gonna quit drinking if there's alcohol in your house every single day and your friends are always going to the bar and you always tag along with them, right? You gotta get rid of it in your environment first. So alcohol is the number one most important thing. And what else alcohol leads to, which I said before, is staying up late and going out and ruining your sleep. So staying out until 1 to 2 a.m., this is another thing that is killing your sleep, right? If you are staying out till 1, 2 a.m., what is happening is that you are messing up your circadian rhythm. And your circadian rhythm is so valuable and so important for getting vitamin D, for getting the right amount of sleep, and specifically getting deep and REM sleep, which is when testosterone is produced, right? If you feel like your testosterone is low, odds are you're not getting deep and REM sleep, and odds are you are staying out too late. And the reason why that affects your deep and REM sleep is because melatonin production, which is in charge of your deep and REM sleep, happens at about 9 to 10 p.m., right? That is when your body starts producing melatonin, and this is when you really need to start winding down and getting ready for bed. Otherwise, you are not going to get that melatonin production that your body needs in order to secrete deep and REM sleep. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure you are going to bed before 11 p.m. 11 p.m. at the latest. You really want to be in bed by like 9:30, 10, and be asleep by 10, because that is when you are going to be able to get more melatonin production, which is going to allow you to get more deep and REM sleep. So staying out until 1 to 2 a.m., right? You might not be drinking alcohol, but if you stay out this late, you are missing out on melatonin production, which is in charge of that deep and REM sleep, and that is going to force your body to not get any deep and REM sleep, which is going to hurt your testosterone. So much testosterone is produced when you are in deep and REM sleep. So if you are lacking on that front, you are lacking on your testosterone levels, right? So cut out the staying out until 1 to 2 a.m., staying up until 1 to 2 a.m. You should have a bedtime alarm every single night. The simple fix is to get a bedtime alarm, figure out what time you need to go to sleep, and do that. Another thing that is going to help is getting off your phone 30 minutes before bed, because blue light, which is from your phone, is going to go right into your eyes, and blue light blocks melatonin production. So 30 minutes before bed, you should not be looking at any screens at all. Minimum 30 minutes before bed. It really should be like an hour or 2 hours before bed, but my hard rule is at least 30 minutes before bed, I'm off all screens. I'm not looking at any screens. I'm not getting any blue light into my eyes, because blue light is going to block your melatonin production. So staying out late and getting blue light blocks your melatonin production. I'm just going to write this down here. So blue light before bed is another thing that is really hurting your testosterone, your energy, and all of those different type of stuff. Honestly, blue light in the morning and blue light in right before bed is going to hurt your melatonin production and then also your drive and motivation in the morning, right? The more dopamine that you get, whether it's in the morning, in the afternoon, during the day, the lower your motivation is going to be. And a lot of people's dopamine, it comes directly from their phone, their TV, different things like that. So what you want to do in order to have more motivation is to have less stimulation, okay? You want to have less dopamine so you get your dopamine out in the real world, out in real life, and that is going to in turn increase your testosterone level. So these are the things you have to cut out. Another thing that you must cut out is stressing, right? Stressing, chronic stress. I know that's like, how do I cut out stress? How do I do those different type of things? There are multiple ways that you can cut out a lot of stress in your life. And one of those things is, again, blue light. Blue light adds stress to your body. Blue light adds stress to your life. And if you are always getting blue light, you are just stressing your body and you're stressing your mind out. So you need to cut out on the stimulation, whether that's Instagram scrolling, whether that's having some restrictions on your phone so you don't go on there at a certain time. Even though I create content and I post content, I make sure I'm not on any social media, I'm not on any YouTube till at least noon, right? I'll film certain things during the day, but I'm not gonna post, I'm not gonna go and scroll on social media before noon, right? Because this is the time when I need to get my work done and for my brain to reset, okay? So that's the rule that I want you guys to have. And you could literally set up a screen time blocker on your phone. There are so many apps that block different things on your phone, so you're not looking at social media first thing in the day, right? Another thing is if you are not creating a business, creating content, or doing anything that's gonna make you money or bring you some type of value with social media, there's literally no reason for you to be on there at all. So just delete it, right? All you are doing is wasting your time. You're getting blue light. You're probably jerking off if you're on social media all the time and scrolling, because that is the number one trigger to doing that stuff. So all of these things are the reason why you should get off social media if you are not using it to build a business, to build a brand, to build an audience, okay? So that's another thing. You're stressing your body out when you are always scrolling, always on your phone, always watching TV, different things like that, always getting blue light. And then another thing that is stressing your body out is your shit diet, okay? This is another huge one that a lot of people, they miss out on and they don't pay attention to, right? Especially in America, our diet is just shit. Our diet is so bad. Everybody eats fast food. The stuff in our foods has like fructose, corn syrup, red 40, all of this bullshit, right? If you go to Europe, the same exact products don't have any of that stuff in, and it's just natural ingredients. And the reason why is because Big Pharma in general just wants to keep you in the same position, wants to keep you fat, lazy, low test, low energy, all of those different type of things. But a shit diet will keep you coming back to those things, okay? So you have to change your diet. And how you change your diet is by getting rid of the fast foods, the processed foods, the Chipotles, the seed oils, right? The cakes, the cookies, the snacks. What I want you to do is figure out which of these on this list that you're doing, write it down, and then get rid of those things, right? If you have cookies, cakes, snacks, processed foods in your house, get rid of all of it. Go to your pantry, to your cabinet, to your fridge, get rid of all that shit. The only thing that should be in your fridge is red meat, eggs, fruits, rice. That's about it. Like seafood if you want, maybe avocados, different things like that. That is all that should be in your fridge. Anything else besides those main quality whole foods, get rid of. Because if it's not in your house, you're not gonna eat it, okay? So get rid of all of that shit. And then another thing is any alcohol that's in your house, get rid of it. Anything that is stressing you out, whether it's a relationship, a person, a place, a thing, get rid of it, right? If it's your job, find a different job, right? You can do an audit on all of these things. You have free will, you have the choice to do what you wanna do. And honestly, if you keep going back to the same places and you keep going back to the same environment, you are gonna continue to get the same result. So you have to make some changes. You write down all of these things, now go take action and get rid of all these things, whether it's a person, a place, an environment, alcohol, foods, right? Staying out too late. All of these different type of things. Set the bedtime alarm on your phone right now. 30 minutes before you need to go to bed, have that bedtime alarm set so you get off your phone before bed and then you get to sleep at the right time so you're producing melatonin and you are increasing your testosterone. These are all simple things that you can do right now. Do it right now. What are you waiting for? You have the things written down. Get rid of it, okay? Another thing that is probably hurting your testosterone is going to be adult websites. Adult websites and masturbating in general is something that's going to be really hurting your testosterone and your energy and your physique. And the reason why I wanted to put this one in there is because I've seen it firsthand, right? When I am abstaining from this stuff, when I'm abstaining from masturbating for a long period of time, whether that's a couple weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, different type of things like that, I notice my physique, my energy, and my drive is just up all of the time, right? I always have energy, I always have physique, I'm always waking up bricked up. But when I am looking at adult websites, when I am masturbating and different things like that, I notice my drive is off, my energy is off, my sleep is off. I don't feel like going out into the real world and mating with women, right? All of these different type of things is really gonna hurt your just ability as a man. So this is another thing that you have to get rid of. The adult websites and masturbating in general, you should get rid of forever, right? Do what you have to do. If you have to set blockers on your phone, there's an app called Quitter that can block everything, all of those adult websites off your phone, Twitter, Reddit. I know what you guys be doing. And that is what you got to get rid of. The adult websites, not only is it bad for your energy, your physique, your drive, your motivation, you are literally spraying out your life force. That semen inside of you creates life, and you are expelling life. You are expelling the thing that you need in order to improve your drive, in order to improve your physique, in order to improve your energy, right? So get rid of this, get rid of that. That is a parasite in your life, right? If you are going to masturbate, you feel like, oh, I need to do it. Have a scheduled time to do it once a week, right? And don't have any stimulation while doing it, because odds are you're looking at very stimulating stuff, which again is going to raise your dopamine baseline levels, and that's going to lower your motivation, that's going to lower your drive. Anything you are doing that's spiking your dopamine super high, that's going to lower your baseline level, that's going to increase your baseline level of dopamine. So any type of work is going to be so hard, so difficult for you. So this is what you got to get rid of. And you release prolactin too, which is like stuff that females do. It makes you more feminine. It makes you more like a girl. You're watching 2 other people have sex, bro. Come on, right? Get rid of the adult websites. If you do all of these things right here, odds are you're going to fix your testosterone easily. Like within the first 3 weeks, you're going to be like, damn, my energy's back, my drive's back. If you get rid of the alcohol, if you go to sleep on time, get rid of the adult websites, you stop eating shit food and you get all that stuff out of your house, you stop stressing over every little thing and overreacting, all of a sudden you're going to be like, my energy is there, my physique is there, my drive is there, I feel like a man. That is the whole goal with this, is to feel like a man, to get your masculinity back, because that is what is wrong with our society today. And now, after those 30 days, once you start to get all of that stuff under control, you feel like you don't really need it anymore. Now you can start adding stuff in, because you're not going to be able to fill up a cup. You're not going to be able to fill up a bucket if there's holes in the bucket. So the very first step is to get rid of all of that bad stuff. And then the next step after you do that, after those first 30 days, is start to add to it, right? Start to add to it. And odds are you really want to replace the bad habits with good habits, so you can kind of do it at the same time. But this other stuff is really stuff that you should start getting as your fundamental baseline. Once you get rid of all of that stuff, you can add in this type of stuff, and this is really going to help your testosterone, help your energy, help your physique. So the very first thing that I want you guys to add to it is lifting 4 times a week, right? If you're someone who's new to the gym, if you're someone who's new to resistance training, all you need is really 4 times a week. And if you cut out all of that other stuff, you have nothing that is holding you back. So you're going to continue to get better. You're going to continue to make gains, and you're going to continue to increase your drive, your energy, your physique, and how you feel in the gym. Very first thing is getting rid of the stuff, but then after that, lifting 4 times a week and doing heavy compound movements. And the reason why you want to do heavy compound movements like bench press, deadlift, and squat is because these things are going to first force your endocrine system to work harder, which in turn is going to improve your testosterone. If you do these things, squatting, benching, deadlift, barbell rows, different things like that, that is going to really, really focus your body on exerting more energy, which in turn is going to improve your testosterone. You want to make sure you're only lifting 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week. 5 times a week is probably fine. You just want to make sure you're giving yourself 2 full rest days. But then additionally, you want to not be spending more than an hour and 15 minutes, right? All you need is an hour and 15 minutes in the gym. You don't need any more time than that, and anything above that is really just going to end up hurting you rather than helping you, and really lowering your energy, your physique, your drive, and shocking your nervous system. Okay, so lifting 4 times a week, giving yourself 48 hours in between each workout, and then keeping it under an hour and 15 minutes. That is the best thing that you can add in once you get rid of all of those toxins and all of those poisons, okay? First thing that I want you to do, another good habit, is morning sun, okay? The reason why you want to get morning sun every single day, not only is because you're getting vitamin D, and the sun is literally a ball of energy, right? The sun is going to cause your body to grow, cause you to grow, and reset your circadian rhythm, right? So you're getting energy, and when you get sun right into your eyes, all you have to do is sit out in the sun like this for 10 to 15 minutes, and you are going to reset your circadian rhythm. That is what you want to add in. resetting your circadian rhythm, because this is going to allow your body to get better sleep and have a literal routine and a literal schedule, right? When you have a routine and when you have your schedule and you're in line with your circadian rhythm, you're going to get way more deep, you're going to get way more REM sleep, and you're going to be able to increase your testosterone just off of that alone, okay? So every single morning, what I want you to do is go outside, literally set a timer on your phone for 10 minutes to go outside and just sit in the sun. Another thing that you really want to start doing is walking for 30 minutes a day, right? And the reason why you want to walk for 30 minutes a day is because this is going to lower your cortisol. And your cortisol is really the thing that is holding your testosterone back, because cortisol and testosterone, they have an inverse relationship. Now, there is some people out there who can have high cortisol and have high testosterone at the same time. It is kind of a lot dependent upon your relationship to cortisol and how you feel about the stress that you're getting. A lot of people, when they feel stressed, they feel like they're doing something. And some people, when they feel stressed, they feel like their whole life is in shambles, different things like that. So you want to lower your cortisol. But typically, the higher your cortisol is, the lower your testosterone is going to be, because they do have somewhat of an inverse relationship. So walking for 30 minutes a day is a great thing to lower that cortisol, but also improve your cardiovascular health and get more vitamin D, right? Vitamin D is a pro-hormone, and that is really what is going to increase your testosterone for the main part. That's why you want to get morning sun. That's why you want to go on walks outside. Going outside, doing walks in nature is going to lower your cortisol, increase the amount of vitamin D you're getting, but also improve your cardiovascular health. It's the easiest thing you can do to improve your cardiovascular health. And if you are running, jogging every single day, what that is going to do is actually raise your cortisol. So instead of running, switch that to walking for 30 minutes a day. You're going to get vitamin D, you're going to lower your cortisol, and you're going to improve your cardiovascular and your heart health, which is going to add years to your life. The other thing that I want you guys to start doing is tanning and grounding 1 to 2 times a week, right? Tanning 1 to 2 times a week / grounding. If you do this 1 to 2 times a week, you're going to connect with nature, get vitamin D, which again is going to lower your cortisol. If you are lowering your cortisol, your testosterone is going to be higher. If you are getting vitamin D, your testosterone is going to be higher. So you want to be grounding, getting outside, tanning 1 to 2 times a week. Odds are someone who's tan and shredded is going to have high testosterone. Really, this time period is all about habits and routines every single day and just having stuff locked in, right? If you don't have a routine of what you are doing on a day-to-day basis, right? When you are at home, when you have all the stuff, when you have all the resources, what are you doing? You don't know what you are doing with your life. Whatever you do in a single day defines who you are as a person. The choices and the things you do in a single day literally defines who you are, right? So what you need to start doing is focusing on your habits and your routines and start to get that consistency. And if you are doing this right now, your testosterone is really going to start to improve and start to increase. So what I want you to focus on in the days 60 through 90 is really on your habits, your routines, and specifically the nighttime and the morning. Night and morning routine, right? Whatever you do the night before the next day is going to determine what kind of day you have the next day. So if the day before you stay out too late, if the day before you drink, what do you think the next day after is going to be like? It's going to be hell. It's not going to be fun. If you go to bed on time, if you read before bed, you don't get blue light in your eyes before bed, the next day is going to be great. The next day is going to be awesome, right? You're going to have a productive day. So what I want you to start focusing on in this time period is really your nighttime and your morning routines and having that locked in, okay? And what I want you to do when you wake up in the morning, drink 30 ounces of water, go for a walk, get morning sun, get ready, take a shower, right? Be off your phone during this entire time frame. Off your phone during this entire time frame, and then maybe have some coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, have coffee with butter and do deep work, right? That is what my routine is every single morning. I drink 32 ounces of water, I go for a walk, I get morning sun, I have a coffee, and then I do 2 hours of deep work, right? And I'm off my phone. I'm not looking at Instagram for that time period at all. Right? I'll do my hardest work. I'll film content, or I'll work at my job, and I'll do my hardest work first thing in the morning, okay? So every single morning, have a routine locked in. This is the easiest one to do to really lower your baseline levels of dopamine so you have more motivation, you have more drive, more energy. Then at night, it's all about being off your phone. Off your phone, calming down, lowering your cortisol, okay? So at night, have your bedtime alarm. Bedtime alarm. Take a warm shower because that is going to lower your internal temperature, and you want to sleep in a cold and dark room. You want to have a lower internal body temperature so you can produce more testosterone, because the colder the room is, the more testosterone you're going to secrete. So right now it's all about getting your habits and your routines and just being consistent, right? A lot of this thing is just not getting bored. Not getting bored. A lot of people, they start to get bored and then they go do some dumb shit. They eat some dumb food. They stay out too late. They drink. They watch the websites, whatever the case may be. I didn't talk about diet in days 30 through 60. But another thing is you really want to start to be eating a lot of red meat, eggs, fruits, rice, right? I'm obviously a person that eats this every single day. Right now I'm eating 1.5 pounds of ground beef every single day, 10 eggs a day. And this is what your guys' diet really should look like. Is simple: red meat, eggs, fruits, rice, seafood here and there. If you do this every single week, you have consistent diet, eating whole foods, not eating processed foods. You're going to the gym 5 times a week. You're going to bed on time. You're getting outside. You're getting into nature. You're getting vitamin D. You're off your phone before 12 p.m. Now, if you want someone to help you build out routines, habits, workouts, schedules, everything you need in order to put this on autopilot, click the link in the bio to book a one-on-one call with me, and I'll get you an entire program set up just for you, tailored for your life. And if you want a free guide on the 5 habits that is killing your testosterone and your energy, DM me the word reset on Instagram, Tyler James Fit, and I'll send that guide right over to you. Further ado, it's your man Tyler James, and I will see you guys on the next video.